Hello, my friends. I'm back with another little, thought, and I wanted to just take it in a direction of more hopefulness since my last video, because I think I just mentioned certain feelings last video, but I didn't really offer anything about like different tools for healing, and I wanted to try to do that to help us out a little bit more. So while I color, this time I'm going to talk about some tools for healing if we are not able to hire a therapist to help us in this journey towards being able to let go of trauma and anxiety and this journey towards healing. So let me go ahead and get into the picture. I'm going to finish this one that I started earlier today. I didn't film it earlier. And as always, when I open up the pictures, the atmospheric or like the sound effects, the waves and the lake and the birds and everything, those sounds go away as long as I'm coloring. I'm not sure why. I thought it would be really nice to have those sounds and continue, and also the scenes where there's actually music and not just birds and flowers and like waves and stuff, but there's actually a couple of scenes that you can choose in this app that have some nice soft guitar music. But I thought it would be really nice to continue hearing that once I'm coloring, sorry. And it stopped for whatever reason. So I guess the app makers either didn't want to continue it, or I guess maybe that wasn't the purpose of the app. But this one I chose because I really like the grays, the browns, the pinks, the greens. I like all this kind of stuff, and I'm hoping that it's not too long before I finish this, but I just wanted to talk. I hope that if you listened to the last one and liked what you heard, that you'll leave something in the comments to indicate that you're here for this video because you maybe liked the last one. Anyway, excuse me. In the last video I talked about, I kind of summarized some of the very disappointing and sad things that happened in my life. I didn't give a lot of detail. I just kind of made it like a list of things that I had been through. There's more. I don't really want to go into a lot of it, but basically I want to talk to anyone who feels like you look all around you and you see that it just seems like some people really have it, and they have it all. It seems like they just have it all. They have everything going for them. They seem like they don't have any illnesses to deal with. They're not overweight. They've never seemed to struggle for money. And then others are dealing with the opposite. So like more sickly, weaker immune systems. It's harder to retain a nice figure, like in your body. It's harder to eat what you like to eat without suffering the consequences of feeling really bloated or sick, or getting really tired, or feeling like you can't really do much after you eat because your stomach just expands, or you just feel like even if you didn't eat a lot, you just don't feel well after you eat. That happens to some people. And it just seems like certain people in this world seem to have it all going for them. They're naturally beautiful or attractive, handsome, whatever. They have nice soft hair, their skin is clear, they have perfect feet and toes, because a lot of us feel like we just don't have cute toes and cute feet. The thing is, we don't know what everyone is dealing with in their own personal life, behind closed doors. We don't know how people have been raised. We don't know how they've been treated by others that should have loved them, and by people who should be in their corner and should be their support system. we just don't know all the details of people's lives. And while it might seem like people have the Midas touch and everything just works out for them, and that might not be the case. But even if it is, let's just say, even if it is the case and everything goes their way and they always get to have the good grades and enough vehicles to go around and nice comfortable air in their house, they always have a nice air conditioner in the summer and they have adequate heat in the winter, and their fridge is big enough and it's loaded with good food, and their pantry is nice and big, and they can afford to go to the club stores every week and buy the fresh fruit and the delicious muffins and really nice salads and chicken and really great things to eat, big huge things of bacon and like chocolate covered almonds and biscuits for their dog that is well trained and all this different stuff. Like, it may seem like we're never going to have what someone else has, and maybe it's true. Maybe we will never have what someone else has, but maybe there's another purpose for us having lived the way we lived, having had the upbringing that we did or the background that we did, going through the things that we did. Maybe it's to help us become who we need to become. Maybe it's to help us be able to relate to someone else that really, really needs us. Whatever the reason, and I can't even begin to say how sorry I am if you're from a situation of not being able to have what you needed growing up, not feeling like someone was able to take care of you or someone to pay attention to you. When I was growing up, my parents were trying to help save the family business, the business that was started by my parents and my dad's parents, and it was like we were either raised by a babysitter, me and my siblings, or when my older sibling got old enough to watch over us, then we were on our own. And so we kind of grew up on our own in a lot of ways, at least the first 3 of us kids. And after that, there was still more trying to save the business, and so the next couple kids also kind of grew up on their own, where our parents were extremely busy and didn't have a lot of time to even notice, or the kids, we always had a roof over our head, we always had food, but sometimes it was like we had to decide if we were going to go get eggs or go get bread or go get milk or go get cheese, like you can't have both. You can't have the cereal and the pizza. Anyway, there were just some hard times, but I remember those days where we didn't get to see our mom from the time we woke up till the time we went to bed. And a lot of times we'd put ourselves to bed. We would try to do our own schoolwork, and there's just a lot of stuff that happened that we needed our mom there for, but she wasn't able to be there because she was trying to save the family business and trying to be supportive of my dad's career, and he was trying to save the business after losing his mom, who was a major founder of the business as well. So we had my grandma was ill, and she was about ready to pass away in our home, and there was just a lot of things that was unfortunate. I don't have bitterness for that, but I have sadness and regret for that. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but there are some kids who don't even have parents at all, and there are some kids who don't have a grandma at all, and some kids who can't ever eat cookies or other stuff. We didn't always have what we needed, but we went through times where we had plenty. Not like a lot, but we had our needs met. We didn't have our wants met, but we had our needs met, and that's, if you don't know any different, if you don't know what you're missing, then it's fine. But looking back now, I can see that we were very lacking and very deprived in a lot of ways. So it can affect a person. It can affect how we see the world, how we see others, and there can be a lot of feelings of envy, jealousy, always kind of feeling bitter towards other people, like they have what I never got to have, and they still have what I still don't have, and just feelings of wondering if you'll ever amount to much, and if you'll ever be able to buy those things easily that you need and want, or provide those things easily for your kids that they need and want. I remember when we were kids, we didn't get to go shopping for new clothes in the fall. We didn't get to go shopping for new backpacks or new items or whatever. Very rarely did we get to go clothes shopping. And when I was a teenager, I got a job and I was able to start buying my own clothes, but there were a lot of things still that I feel like we would have loved to have and just never got to have them. People would talk about how they went to the movies, and we'd be like, oh, what is it like at the movies? We don't go to the movies. We don't know what that's like. And they were like, oh, I go to the movies and I get my huge popcorn and I get my huge soda and I get all my candies, and I sit there and I meet my friends every weekend and we go to the theater. Of course, back then the theater was a lot less expensive than it is now, but the cost of living and everything and minimum wage and everything, all of that was lower. So it was still a sacrifice to buy movie tickets way back then when minimum wage was only $4 and some cents. I remember when minimum wage went to $5.25 and people thought that was great. My cat or a neighbor or someone is making a weird noise out there. So there's just going to be that division in life where not everyone is always going to be successful. And unfortunately, it seems like some people will always have what they need and want, and others of us won't. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't continue to work hard, though, for what we need and want. If there's something you want, if there's something you need, if there's something that you are able to do for yourself or for your family or for your life, you should go after it. I believe that you should definitely go after it. Don't listen to anyone who tells you that you're not going to be successful if you try this or that. Actually, a week ago, I was asking in a Facebook group if anyone knows how to do a certain thing because I'd like to try it, and if it works, if I can learn how to do it effectively, then I might want to actually create some designs and actually create an online store and sell these designs. And the comments I got from, so everyone in the group that I'm in, that I posted this in, is supposed to be like the group rules are be nice, be kind, share, encourage, whether you're buying, whether you're selling, whatever the reason. This is a group of people who enjoy buying and selling from online stores, from handmade or designed, not AI stuff, not AI projects and work, but like things that people have created and designed themselves, whether it's like crocheted hats or knitted toys or jewelry that someone made or stamps or stickers or labels, ceramics, whatever the thing is, whether they made it with their own hands or whether they designed it and another manufacturer made it for them. Anyway, I really hoped that I was going to get a lot of encouragement on my post. And instead what I got was, oh, statistically only this many people get noticed on Etsy, for example, and the only reason they're noticed is because they've been doing it for a few years already and they were in it when the market was smaller. So the algorithm keeps on pushing them through, and only 26% of people who attempt to create an online store are actually going to sell anything. And like the market is oversaturated, so I mean, we wish you luck, but just know that it's not going to work. Basically, that was all the comments that I got. Actually, there was one other comment. There was something that said, you actually think people are going to tell you what you need to do to figure this out? Because realize that every single person in this group here is seeing you as a competitor, so no one's going to want to help you. And I just thought, wow, that's hurtful. That's mean. Why? I mean, they haven't even seen what I can do. They don't even know what I want to make yet, and they're already viewing me as competition. Why? And whatever happened to helping people? And you know, if it worked for somebody, why would you not want to share? I mean, I understand if you see someone as your competition and you think that they're going to be taking away the sales that you're going to get, I guess you can choose not to help them, but I just felt really discouraged by that. And I wrote on my post in the comments, I said, well, I'm not here to really worry about statistics and to be afraid of statistics and who can sell and who can't. I want to learn how to do a skill. I want to learn how to complete a task and make a process so that once I learn it, once I know how to do it, I can decide what I want to do with that skill afterwards. And the replies to that comment came back with, oh yeah, that's what you say and everything. And we just wanted to warn you that it's not going to work. We just wanted to warn you that the market is oversaturated. So you're really having false hope right now, and you may as well not even try. And I was like, oh my goodness, why? Like, how can someone say that to another person? Like, oh, I mean, it was really disappointing. And so I deleted my post out of the group. And that's the only one time that I ever posted in there or commented in there. And it's that kind of a group where people, well, the admins or whoever will say, hey, it's that one day a week where everybody gets to introduce their business and show their site or show a link to their site and tell their specialty of what they're making and what they're selling. Like, it lets everybody give some love to what they're doing, and everybody can help everybody and know what your shops are and everything. And I just felt like, I don't even feel like I can be part of this, because I just had a ton of people shoot me down without even knowing what I want to do or what I can do. It was quite frustrating, and it was eye-opening. So I didn't feel like I fit there. I didn't feel like I could ask any questions. I just had a bunch of people who don't know me just tell me that they don't believe in me and that I'm not going to go anywhere, and that no matter what efforts I make, it's not going to amount to anything. And I'm not going to be successful. So were any of you talked to like that in the last week or year or in your life? I actually was talked to like that quite a bit. I used to want to go into cosmetology. I wanted to learn to cut hair. I didn't really want to learn so much to style and color hair, but I wanted to cut hair. And I guess nowadays more of the money is in the coloring and the styling and less in the cutting, because anyone probably can cut hair. Watch a YouTube video and cut some hair. But at the time when I was young, in my very early 20s, I shouldn't say when I was young, I should say when I was younger, people in my life tried to discourage me from pursuing hair school or beauty school, and it worked. I listened to them, and I listened to them saying that there's too much competition, that's not really a worthy career, you probably won't like it. And unfortunately I didn't stick up for myself, and I veered away from it and stayed away from it and never went into it until I decided that now, where I am now, I wouldn't want to be on my feet all day with my hands up in someone else's hair. I wouldn't want that. I think that would be quite tiring. So I did give up that goal or that dream. But if you have had this kind of experience and you're looking at a situation where you want to learn a skill or you want to pursue some schooling, some training, or go after a goal, I want to encourage you not to listen to other people and not to let other people's reasoning influence you to the point where you just drop it or turn your back on it or decide not to do it. Really reach and search inside you to see if it's something that you would regret not pursuing. And what's bigger? The risk of not pursuing it and always having that regret, even if it didn't work, at least you tried and probably learned quite a few valuable things along the way. Or, what's worse? Turning your back and never knowing what could have been, or trying it and it doesn't work out, but at least you learned, or trying it and it absolutely does work out and it's amazing and you have a wonderful experience, wonderful career, meet wonderful people, learn a lot of good things, and or possibly it springboards you into another great opportunity. I just want to encourage people to think for themselves and don't let your parents or your siblings or your cousins or your best friend or your boyfriend or your husband or anybody tell you that you shouldn't pursue learning a skill or learning a talent or a craft, and you shouldn't go towards an opportunity unless you yourself really, really feel like it's not for you. So this doesn't really go along with anxiety. This is just more the kind of fear of missing out, or just the feeling of regret and not wanting to experience more regret. So I wanted to save anyone from that if I possibly can, by influencing you, by telling you my stories, and hopefully inspiring you that you will actually go towards the thing that you want instead of going away from it. I'm going to push this hint button up here at the top right because I cannot find where the last piece of pinkish purple is, unless it's right here. Oh, I got it. Wow. Sharp eyes, as my mom would say. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I found it. All right, let's just enjoy this animation here. Kind of the path, what I took to color. I really like those loose petals, those pink petals. I like the octagon shapes on the little lantern things or whatever those pillars are. I like the look of the pencil, the brushes, and the ink. That's pretty. It's a really nice, cute little picture. Brought me some calm while I was sitting here thinking, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So thanks for coming to listen to me talk, and I'd love it if you would leave a comment if it has anything to do with this, or if you have a question for me. And until next time, take good care of yourself. Goodbye.